Hello friends, this is Praveen Pandey, a senior faculty, Drishti IAS for Sociology and in General Studies, Paper 1, Indian Society and Paper 2, Social Justice. I welcome all of you in the series of discussions on the questions Civil Service Examination 2021. Here we are going to have discussion on the questions related to Social Justice, Paper 2. And this is just a trend analysis. In 2017, you had 60 marker question, in 18, 25 marker, also in 2020, 25 markers, in 2019, 55 marker, and this year, 60 marker questions. One question from issues related to government policies for development and their implementation, and 4 questions from welfare schemes launched for the vulnerable sections. Now coming to the questions. First one is discuss the desirability of greater representation of women in higher judiciary to ensure diversity, equity and inclusiveness. So does it mean that the representation of women is less in higher judiciary? Yes. Let's have a look on some particular data that in the last 71 years in Supreme Court of India, when 256 judges have been appointed so far, out of that only 11, and that is 4.2%, they have been women. Very poor. Okay. Presently, out of 25 high courts, only one Chief Justice, and that too in Telangana, is Chief Justice. Just one. Women Chief Justice. And out of total high courts in India, present time, only 11% representation is there of women as women judges. Okay. There are certain high courts like Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura, Patna and Uttarakhand, where not a single lady judge is there. So overall, with the help of these data, you can find the pathetic condition, poor condition of women in higher judiciary. But the thing is that, is it something, it is all about the qualification. If they did not qualify to be appointed as a judge, they were not actually. Yes. Does it mean so? क्या इसका मतलब यही हुआ? When we take the look at the lower judiciary, where there is open competition for everyone, we find appropriate number of women judges at that level. It means that there is some problem at the level of appointment at higher judiciary level. It means that women are well qualified, but they are not getting their proper place. That's true. Now the thing is that why should they get a proper place means their representation should be adequate. Why is it important? Why do we think about of equity? Why do we think about of diversity in terms of male and female? And so their inclusiveness. Why is it required? So when the question is why, we'll give the answer to this question on the basis of different perspectives. And the first perspective is about balanced representation. Perspective. Balanced representation perspective. There should be proper balance. Balance in the sense that people should be there from different sections of society, so that when we talk about judgments, when judgments are given, unless and until there is a balance, means adequate representation of judges from all sections of society, we won't expect a proper and equitable justice properly. So for that, for the maintenance of the same thing, they should come from all sections. And so of course, when out of the total population 50% are women, so they should come accordingly, they should come from that section as well. Yes, so in that way we could think, talk, and find the balanced representation of the same section. I mean, of course, women. So for this, women representation, adequate representation is needed. That is one thing. Second thing is equity. Perspective. Equity perspective means equally. There should be, since men and women, they are equal in number in the society, so there should be equity here as well. Is it really? Just because that they equal in number in to men, they should come to higher judiciary level as well. So for this, no doubt that that level of qualification is also required. Yes. Well, when we talk about equity perspective, first of all, we need to take social justice theory, and as you know, like John Rawls theory, it says that there is inequality in the society, but that is justiciable only when it provides profit, justice to vulnerable section of the society. Women are on top in terms of vulnerability. Women are on top. Yes. So the thing is that, does inequality present in society provide justice, benefits of inequality to women or all vulnerable section of society? So answer is no. It actually does not provide. Then what we have to do? Then we have to make sure that women representation, adequate representation is there. We have to make sure, because women are the one who can really think about of women problems, women issues in a proper manner, and for that women judges are needed, and adequately that number is needed. When it is related to men, they have to empathize for the same purpose. Empathizing means like putting oneself in the shoes of others, in the shoes of women. But that is something which is not really possible. What is the feeling of a lady to become a mother, to become pregnant, to remain pregnant for so many months, and finally to deliver a child? That is something cannot be empathized. It's not so simple to empathize these things. And apart from that, the issues related to all these things, that is beyond the capacity of men to empathize. So rather than talk about of empathizing on all these issues, we have to focus directly on to the issue that women should come forward and they should be given the chance, take the lead, and to be in the form of judges, to give related judgments. This is what is equity perspective. So just because that inequality is not providing proper justice, yes, benefits to vulnerable section, particularly women, so we have to then finally go to the level of equity. Yes, as far as qualification is concerned, so there is no doubt that women, they have proved that they are well qualified. They are there in all the fields where men, they have been working and they are working. So accordingly, women should be given opportunity, and they should be in the higher judiciary as well. Fine. Okay. Next one is growth perspective. The growth perspective means not in terms of the growth of judiciary, but also in terms of growth of the society as a whole. And that growth is somehow linked with the judgment, the safeguards which are given to the people And finally, that safeguard is provided by the judicial system at higher level. So the one that is related to women should be done by women in a proper way. And for that part, I mean, we can think about a proper growth of society when adequate number of women, they work as judges in higher judiciary level. So also women should be there in the same position. Okay, next one is education. Education perspective. So on the one hand, education makes us rational. Like we could rationally think about different things. That is one. Second, that when it is related to like women's position in higher judiciary, it makes it clear that if women, they are equally educated like men, so why they are not considered equivalent and in that way qualified, equally qualified like men to be in the same position? Yes, and we find that we have proper data to show that there is hardly any big difference between the male and female literacy level, education level. Yes, not a big difference is there. So why there is a difference in terms of their appointment? Yes, and if they are not appointed, it means that the kind of rationality we are thinking about in the society for each and everyone, that the same cannot be obtained. For that also, there is a requirement of women judges to be there in the society at higher level, in higher judiciary. Yes. Next one is health perspective. This one is also related to judgment in terms of different women-related issues, and particularly the health. Health of women has been a major concern always in the society, and just because that because they are the one who had to become mothers. Yes, so their reproduction health becomes very important. When we talk about MMR, maternal mortality rate, that is something which is related to women only. Why is it that we have to think about number of girl children? Yes, it's just because that those girl children, they are future mothers. So we count their number, and accordingly we plan what we have to do in the future. There's some particular diseases that women suffer a lot in the society. It is found that in India, the maximum women, they are anemic. So it is something which is gender-linked, gender-related problem. So when many of these problems are related, health-related problems are related with women, who will make proper judgment in all these terms? When the matter is related to population policy and its related issues, who can make a proper judgment on the same? Who can provide a proper safeguard? So of course, women are best to provide. So for that also, we require women judges in higher judiciary. Yes. And role disposition. Role disposition perspective. What is it? In this modern era, various there is change in behavior of the people, and so various problems are coming up, and really particularly related to women. When women, they have become outgoing, they started facing problems like eve-teasing, sexual harassment at public place, at workplace, even at home also they are facing problems. When it is related to a feticide, yes, Female feticide is common. We have never heard about of male feticide. Female feticide, killing of female fetus, that is quite obvious, quite famous in our society. Domestic violence, that is so rampant that recently the government of India had to think about of bringing such enactments, such law, and finally we have two important laws. That is, one is related to domestic violence and the other one is related to harassment, sexual harassment of women at workplace. Why was it needed? Just because that women, they have some peculiar problems, and the problems are increasing. So when these problems are increasing, it means that those people who are performing these ones, their role is also increasing in that way. This is something which is related to role disposition. Various issues in role disposition, new issues in the role disposition, new problems coming up, acid attacks, women are suffering from that problem as well. So who will give judgment on all these issues? So someone who can really, understand these problems properly. Someone who has been either victim or can really, imagine about the same thing. So better could be done by women only, not by the men. So also women judges are needed in higher judiciary. So in this way, that you have to write your answer in these different perspectives, 6 different perspectives. If you could, you can write an answer to decide this issue, like why there should be greater representation of women in higher judiciary to ensure diversity, equity, and inclusiveness. Okay, coming to next. Earn while you learn scheme needs to be strengthened to make vocational education and skill training meaningful. This is one particular scheme, and that is supposed to be strengthened to make vocational education and skill training meaningful. Comment means that you have to give your arguments in your own way. You have to take one stand and accordingly you have to give your arguments. That is meaning of comment. So in that way you have to write your answer. As far as this scheme is concerned, the scheme was actually brought in by the Ministry of Tourism. It is for college going students. Those who are in the age group of 18 to 25. Either they are undergraduate or graduate. Yes. A training is given to them, and that training is actually a short-term training. Short-term training. Wherein the appropriate tourism and travel traits are imbibed among them. That is something which is imbibed in the students as training. It is imbibed, and the purpose is to make them work as student volunteer. Yes, and of course the purpose is like earn while you learn. So while learning, they get an opportunity to earn also. They can earn. Now, why this scheme is required, that is one thing, and how the same could be strengthened further. That exactly is the issue here. Yes, one thing is very clear that if you get an opportunity to earn, I mean, like it could be taken as a part-time job. Yes. So you get opportunity as a student, you get opportunity whenever you get a time, you just use that skill, the one that you get in the form of this skill development program, vocational course. One more thing that you have to attach here, that is RUSA, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, that was brought in the year 2013. Yes. So one of the aim of this RUSA was to provide in-campus vocational education and in that way like skill development training to college going students. So the aim was to club the two things. On the one hand, you're offered and you're pursuing one particular course like undergraduation course. On the other hand, you are attached with that vocational course as well. So the two things should go on hand in hand. This is one important aim of the RUSA, I mean Drishti IAS English. It's already taken up properly, and accordingly this program was launched. And yes, it is attached with the colleges only. Now you have to show that the purpose is very clear, that in that way, since it's a kind of part-time job and students could earn something, and in that way they could meet their daily expenses. For that, they are not depending on their parents. Till date, they have been depending on their parents. And because of this high level of dependence, there is a problem upon the state as well, the government as well. So when parents are freed from this particular thing, so obviously pressure or burden is not there on the state as well. And state in that way would think about some other developmental issues. Yes, that is one thing. Second thing is that generally, what happens that students, they pursue some particular course, undergraduation course, just for sake of doing that one, having no future planning as such. But when it is attached, they can have a proper future planning. Accordingly, they take one particular course. Yes, they adopt that one, they pursue that one, and they are thinking out of their future, their career. They are shaping their career in that particular direction itself. Yes. अभी तक क्या था? Simply like कोई भी कोर्स ले लिया, कर लिया, उसके बाद से सोच रहे हैं कि अब नौकरी हमको मिलेगी, कैसे मिलेगी? Yes, चलो टीचर ही बन जाते हैं, चलो ये बन जाते हैं. But now what is that? The two are clubbed together. You know that you're getting a vocational training, vocational course. So it is better to pursue a course, your undergraduation course, in the line of the same, so that you are getting both the things together. One, that is theoretical knowledge, that is undergraduation course that is providing you theoretical knowledge, and this vocational training that is providing you practical knowledge. So both the things are going hand in hand. That is one. And second, that you are preparing yourself for the future job as well. And you have a practical knowledge, you have no hesitation, you have boosted your confidence highly, you're going for the job with that full confidence, that is going to pay you, that is going to pay to everyone. Yes. So for all these reasons, this is going to work perfectly. Apart from that, I mean, this is something which is applicable in all developed countries. Yes, when similar things are provided to the students in India, it means that they are going to prepare themselves for a global job as well. Yes, they become ready for a global job as well. Easily they get job. So in that way, we are going to provide solution to the problem related to unemployment as well. Yes. Apart from that, such programs, they are so much meaningful that they could solve maximum problems related to unemployment, youth unemployment. Yes. And one more thing that we are not supposed to say. हमें कुछ कहने की जरूरत नहीं है. Automatically that will become part of the value system. And what is that? Generally, like from the time immemorial, we have framed certain activities, certain jobs as prestigious one, some others as menial one. as menial job. Yes, what we have done. But once this opportunity, you get this opportunity, earn while you learn, then no job is more highly prestigious and no job is less prestigious. So that difference is minimized, and that way almost eliminated. This is something which is actually working in all developed countries. So we also get prepared for the same thing. This is highly important in our society. Do you remember? एक बार हमारे प्रधानमंत्री साहब ने कह दिया था कि पकौड़े बनाना और पकौड़े बेचना भी एक अच्छा प्रोफेशन हो सकता है. And for the same, he was highly trolled. High level of trolling that he had to suffer. He had to face. क्यों? उन्होंने ऐसे क्यों बोल दिया? अब हमारे लिए यही बचा हुआ है. ग्रेजुएशन करने के बाद हम पकौड़े छानेंगे, पकौड़े बनाएंगे? नो. अब आप याद करो ना, अभी कुछ साल पहले की बात है. It's just because that we already have a mind frame that this type of activity is something which is menial activity, and that's why हमारा ईगो हर्ट हो गया, हमें प्रॉब्लम हो गई. लेकिन जब इस टाइप की ट्रेनिंग अगर हमको मिलेगी और हम काम करेंगे और अर्न करेंगे, ये सब चीजें दिमाग से निकल जाएंगी. That is something which is very important, most important thing that is related to this particular part. Fine. So these are important things. Now the thing is that as far as this strengthening part is concerned, how the same could be strengthened. Yes. So this is one such thing that we have to bring one such value. We have to attach one such value to make each and every work meaningful. Yes. Each and every work prestigious. No work is menial. No work is less prestigious. सारे के सारे जो भी काम होंगे, जो भी एक्टिविटीज होंगी, सब प्रेस्टिजियस हो जाएंगी. Yes, that is one thing. Second, that we have to apply the same. I mean, this is something that was done by Ministry of Tourism. In one field it was done, but what we have to do, that we have to apply the same in each and every field. और इतने सारे vocational courses हमको लेकर के आने हैं, सभी field से related लेकर के आने हैं, ताकि we could provide part-time job to each and every student if they need, to each and every student in the college. सबको हम अटैच कर सके. So in that way, the same could be strengthened. One more thing. On the one hand, we work on the value system. Value means the way, I told you, like the value which is attached for one work that is prestigious and the work is less prestigious. We have to bring uniform values to each and every work. That is one thing. Second, that we have to attach social security also with the same, so that parents should not have any problem with the same कि पता नहीं social security नहीं है आगे क्या होगा, तो उससे भी हम इनको बचा पाए. तो we have to attach social security to strengthen the same, and in that way we can solve major problems related to the same thing. Right. So that is where, like, you have to discuss the things and you have to show like how the same could be strengthened to make it meaningful. Next question. Can the vicious cycle of gender inequality, poverty and malnutrition be broken through microfinancing of women, SHGs, self-help groups? Can the vicious cycle of gender inequality, poverty and malnutrition? Yes, it's a vicious cycle. It has been a vicious cycle. Gender inequality, poverty, malnutrition, and you can take one more thing, that is illiteracy, So vicious cycle means if you get trapped in one, you get trapped in all. That is called vicious cycle. If you're suffering from gender inequality, so obviously you won't get opportunity to get proper education. So suffering from illiteracy as well, high possibility of poverty conditions, and yes, of course, malnutrition. That is something that is part of gender inequality as well. Malnutrition in a way that mostly in middle class families, lower middle class families, and lower class families, since their economic condition is not that good. So whenever they get some some eatables which are nutritional, yes, they basically reserve the same for the male counterpart, means for husband, for son. She herself does not take it. She does not give the same to her daughter. It's just because of that gender inequality, malnutrition. And it is something which is said that they do not require, because they are not supposed to do any hard work on something, so they do not require it. But the thing is that they have to become mother. She has already become mother. Her daughter is going to become mother in future. And for that, a proper strength is needed. Physical strength is needed. And for that, nutritional food is needed. Nutrition intake is needed. But there's something which is not, supposed, and it's not considered important. And finally, they suffer from malnourishment. McKinsey Global Institute, it shows that how the condition of women in India is so pathetic. So it has presented some particular data, like out of the total workforce in India, only 31% they are coming from women. 31% of the total workforce is actually coming from women part. It means that around 70% of the total workforce that is comprised of men. Very poor condition. And even like in this 30 or 31%, maximum women, they are actually like workers. They are in working class condition. Just few, like 7 to 8%, they are actually, they are in respectable jobs. That is one. Second thing, one more hunger index that provided some data, and we have it like the women in the age group of 15 to 59 age group, women. So out of the total, 51%, they are anemic, suffering from anemia. Yes, that is something is related to nutritional problem. That is something which is related to malnutrition. Yes. One more thing, that some particular diseases, women, they are suffering from some particular diseases, and one of them is, apart from malnutrition, another problem is related to tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, that is another disease with which women are the biggest sufferers. Adolescent, sexual health, just a minute. Reproduction, sexual health, Arsh, that is something which is related to women, means teenagers. Yes. MMR, that is related to women, just because that they suffer from malnourished conditions. So many such issues are there. It's understood issues are there. Yes. Now, why they're suffering from all these issues? So one thing is very clear, that is gender inequality. How to remove this problem? how to eliminate it. So it is done by giving them proper place in the society, means by their empowerment. And at a lower level, the empowerment could be seen in the form of SHGs, self-help groups. That was understood, that was decided, and finally it was carried on. Yes. Now to understand exactly how SHGs are working, I give you one example that is related to one particular program, and it is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. In short, it is taken as Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, NRLM, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Let's take this one. And under this, self-help groups have been created, and that in that way, it is it has a target to attach at least one woman from each and every family. Yes. For funding part, it is being funded in two ways, that is revolving fund and community investment fund. Revolving fund, RF, revolving fund, and community investment fund, CIF. The purpose of the two funds, I mean, after getting the funds, what actually they're supposed to do, they have to go for asset formation, on the one hand, and second thing is self-employment for income generation, self-employment for income generation. And it is said that such SHGs, they are actually capable to work as a mini company. They have the ability to work like that. What is the progress report? So now I'm moving to one particular report that is provided by NABARD. So NABARD report 2019. Let's just have a look at it, what actually it says. So it says that more than 1 crore SHGs, more than 1 crore SHGs, they are working. Self-help groups, they are working, and they have attached more than 12.4 crore families. And what actually they have done? They have created an asset, or I mean at least money, the one that they have deposited, that is 26,000 crores of rupees. 26,000 crores of rupees, that rupees 26,000 crore they have deposited. And in fact, maximum of the same, that is 23,300 crores of rupees, that is done by women SHGs. तो मेन का रोल यहाँ पे बहुत कम है, विमेन का सबसे ज्यादा है. Yes, there are 44. अगर हम बात करें, I mean like 6.54 lakh SHGs, they have been attached with e-Shakti also, and 44.5 lakh SHGs की कंडीशन ये है कि उनका NPA, the NPA of the gross NPA is less than 4.5. It means that it is less than half of the gross NPA of banking sector in India. Just imagine their condition. How beautiful is this? But still, it is not that good. Yes. जहाँ पे इतने सारी families जुड़ी हुई हैं, उसमें जब हम इसको calculate करते हैं, तो this money is not that sufficient. We need much more than this. Then only we can solve the problem of women in a proper manner. Why we are not getting the same in a proper way? What are the problems? What are the issues attached with the same? So first thing is unawareness of the members. The members attached with the same, they are not much aware about these activities and its return package. Yes, like they do the work, they do the job just for sake of doing it, and that's the reason it is not that good, it is not that meaningful. That is one. Second thing is that they have not been given adequate training. We lack adequate training facility, so they are not provided the same thing in a proper way. Third thing is related to raw materials. There is problem related to raw materials as well. So also the production which is required is not done. Acha, whatever is done, since there is problem related to marketing part, so also problem is there. Yes, when the things are not properly put in the market and they're not sold, then it again the same becomes meaningless. So that is another problem related to the same. Okay, another thing that there is non-stability in SHGs. There is non-stability and unity among all the members. So also it is suffering a lot. It is also found that the stronger members, they keep on exploiting the weaker members, and that is another reason, like the weaker members, they keep on leaving this one, और वो instability को create करता है यहाँ पर. Yes. Funding is not properly done. That too is something which is inappropriate, and even like different financial institutions, they have shown a very non-cooperative attitude, behavior towards SHGs. So also problems are seen, and the role of NGOs have been pathetic, very poor. So for all these reasons, the kind of and of course, yes, the return part is something which is very, very low. So also it is not that lucrative, it is not motivating for the women. For all these reasons, the kind of return, the kind of motivation, the kind of success that was required could not be obtained. Yes. So we need to do a lot of things, and the problem though that I have just focused, they become the challenges, and we need to correct upon those things. Once these things are corrected, we definitely make sure that women's condition, and particularly at lower level, that is going to be very, very sound, and they will not suffer anymore with these issues. Yes. So that's why we have to discuss this particular one. Let's see another. Has digital illiteracy, particularly in rural areas, coupled with lack of information and communication technology, ICT, accessibility, coupled with ICT accessibility, hindered socio-economic development? Examine. Well, to explain this one, we need to understand what exactly is, what is digital literacy and role of ICT together. So what are the benefits related with the same? First, we need to know that one, and then it becomes obvious, like these are the benefits if we do not have the proper accessibility to ICT and of course digital literacy. So problems, just reverse things will be seen, and that is, in fact, that will be the problem area that we have to see. Yes, when we talk about digitalization of the system, and that way digital literacy, like people, they know how to use the same thing. Yes, they are in that way digitally literate, and they are supported with ICT. So what are things that may come? First of all, there is a high possibility of digitalization of the system, and so e-governance. E-governance means very smoothly everything is going on. Whatever be your problem, even in rural area, whatever be your problem, what you need to do, like internet facility is there, you are digitally literate, so and of course you are supported with smartphone or smart technology. In that way, you can you just open that app and go to the page, put up your grievances, and once you put it up, it is properly taken up, and that is resolved quickly. Quick resolution is there, and there's something which is known as one-stop solution or smart solution. So there is high possibility of getting smart solution to various problems related related, and that is seen like related to transportation, road transportation, communication system, civic amenities, various issues related to civic amenities, water supply, electricity supply. Yes, many such problems. Apart from that, sometimes it is seen that in villages, since everything is properly managed, so there is a possibility that water is the waste water that is coming from the houses, and it is spread outside, and that way it is making the life hell of the people. You just need to go to the app, take a snap, send to the concerned department, and solution is provided. They know how to provide the solution. They will provide you that level of solution. So the way things are supposed to work in urban areas, and particularly after smart city mission, exactly in the same way, there is a possibility of solution in rural areas as well. When there is a high level of digitalization in rural areas, what would happen that there is high possibility of creation of infrastructure as well, and use of that infrastructure that is related to education, that is related to health, that is related to, again, transportation, road transportation, and of course communication system. For these facilities, it is seen that generally people, they kept on moving from one place to another, from village to urban areas, just for sake of getting these facilities. Some people, they have moved, or they keep on moving. They could be stopped. Migration could be stopped, at least for this particular purpose. Migration नहीं होगा, आपको आपके बच्चों को पढ़ने के लिए गांव में अच्छा स्कूल मिल रहा है, सारी फैसिलिटीज मिल रही हैं. Yes, when there is digitalization of everything, it means that digital board is there in the school, and that way, they are being taught. They are provided with smart solutions. So in case there is some problem, lockdown or something, children, they are getting proper education at sitting at home also, the way they have been getting in urban areas. तो सारी चीजें उनको घर बैठे मिल रही हैं. Yes, if it is there, I'm just taking one thing, like if digital literacy and ICT support is there, then all these things work in this particular manner. So at least for this purpose, you won't move to the city. For health purpose, if there is a hospital, proper hospital that is working, and suppose, like some doctors are there, but if you require some specific doctors, and teleconsultation is possible, just sit before, just by using video conferencing and all those, face to face, doctor and patients, they are sitting, and patients, they are putting up their problems, doctors, they are suggesting what to do, junior doctors, they are writing down, and that way they are providing access to everything. Yes, medicines are provided. अब बहुत ज़्यादा अगर कोई टेक्निक जो टिपिकल प्रॉब्लम है, उसके लिए आपको शहर जाना पड़ेगा. अब इनके लिए आपको शहर जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Yes, so for this also, migration could be stopped, and all good facilities are being provided to the people. Now coming to employment. So when there is digitization of everything, so it is going to help you in terms of employment. It is going to help you in two ways. Number one, creation of employment. Even in villages, there is a high possibility of creation of employment. That is one thing. And second, that it is something which is related, it is going to provide you transparency and accountability. That is supposed to suppress the level of corruption, and the same could be almost eliminated. By eliminating corruption, further we can enhance level of employment, and this is something which is going to work for all the people. So also, they are not supposed to migrate to cities. अब सिटी में जब वो मूव करते हैं, तो उसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि वहाँ पे जाकर के स्लम्स को बढ़ाते हैं, फिर वहाँ पे दुनिया भर की प्रॉब्लम्स, वहाँ पे स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन आ रहा है, लेकिन फिर जब लोग फ्लो बढ़ेगा तो फिर से स्लम्स क्रिएट होंगे. तो स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन विल नॉट बी सक्सेसफुल अनलेस वी मेक विलेजेस आल्सो smarter. Yes, so for all, these are different benefits, the one that we have. But if suppose digital literacy does not work, and it is not supported with ICT. Everything is reversed. You don't have smart solution, no one-stop solution, no digitalization, no smart board, no proper education, no hospitalization, no health facilities, no civic amenities facilities, not at all. Nothing is given, and nothing is done properly. तो जैसे चीजें चल रही वैसे चलती रही, and that is the reason like it is going to hinder all socio-economic activities of the people in that area. मैं एक example आपको देता हूँ कि in Uttar Pradesh when we saw that lockdown, the first initial one, and then after it crippled all the time the activities of students, particularly we take students case. What actually happened that like in Uttar Pradesh, particularly in one particular state, big state, and population wise the biggest one, what happened like their total, it is counted that their total 3.8 crore children in that state. 2 crore they study in private schools and 1.8 crore they study in government schools. Yes, but out of this 3.8 crore, only 30 to 40 lakh students, they actually they have had the access to Diksha app, Diksha, DIKSHA, digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. Digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing, that is full form of the same, that app. Only 30 to 40 lakh students, and maximum they belong to urban areas. It was almost nil at the rural area. So you can imagine what is condition in the rural areas. Yes. So it is in this way that you have to write your answer. I mean, what are the benefits, and accordingly, since like if there is digital illiteracy and not support of ICT properly, so what would happen? Everything is reversed, and the same becomes the challenge. So the problem, the one that is put here, you see the same problem. That's why you have to show it. Okay. The next question, that is, though women in the post-independent India have excelled in various fields, the social attitude towards women and feminist movement has been patriarchal. Apart from women education and women empowerment, what interventions can help change this milieu? So what are things like the women in post-independent India have excelled in various fields, that's fine. Social attitude towards women and feminist movement has been patriarchal. पहले तो इसको हमको प्रूव करना है, ये दिखाना है कि मतलब how far is this statement is correct, and then after इसके अलावा apart from women education and women empowerment और क्या हम कर सकते हैं? What interventions can help change this milieu? Yes, what interventions? So let's see the first statement, and this is something that we can prove on the basis of some particular examples related to different movements. One movement is let's start with one that is related. It is related to what we can say farmers movement, or I mean agriculture related movement rather. Agriculture related, not farmers movement, but agriculture related. And it started from Naxalbari movement. Then the same ideology moved to Andhra Pradesh in the name of PWG, People War Group. PWG means People War Group. The purpose of this this association and so the movement was to bring equality among all the farmers. That was the main purpose on which actually they have been fighting, and they were putting up their issues. Well, they gave an opportunity to women as well to come forward and get themselves linked with the same movement. And the same thing happened. Like women, they really went forward and they attached themselves with that particular movement. But very soon they started raising their own issues, that the way you talk about of equality in the society, in agriculture, the way you talk about of equality, why don't you talk about of equality in gender terms as well? They started putting on this issue. But male members, they were not ready to listen to the same. Why? Just because of their patriarchal mindset. Just because of the patriarchal mindset, they were not ready to listen to the same issue. Got his point? Yes. So this is something which is quite visual. So what actually they did when women kept on pressurizing them, तो उन्होंने कहा कि यार तुम एक काम करो, तुम लोग निकलो यहाँ से, तुमको अलग से विंग बना के दे देते हैं. And what actually they did finally, that they created women wing, कि तुमको जो भी अपना इशू लाना हो अपने उस विंग के थ्रू अपना लाओ. And that's known as POW, Progressive Organization of Women, that was created. लेकिन वो माइंडसेट तो नहीं हटा ना. माइंडसेट उनका भाई, उन्होंने कहा कि हम नहीं इस पे, वी आर नॉट रेडी टू कंप्रोमाइज ऑन दिस इशू, वी आर नॉट रेडी. गो अपना जाओ तुम लोग वहीं पे, आप झगड़ते वगड़ते रहना, जो भी करना हो करना, बट वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू टेक दिस वन. थिंग इज दैट patriarchal mindset is working. Yes. So this is one such example. Let's take another example that is related to tribals movement, and it is after creation of Chhattisgarh. 2000 में जब छत्तीसगढ़ creation हुआ है, मतलब 3 states were created that time. So one was Chhattisgarh. Now there was non-party movement in Chhattisgarh, and it was actually trying to get to talk and to put forward the issues of tribal people related to their rights, and that was their rights related to forest, land and water. Forest, land and water. And they gave a slogan also, जल जंगल जमीन ये हों जनता के अधीन. जल जंगल जमीन ये हों जनता के अधीन. Jal means water, forest and land. This whole should be in the capacity of, or yes, in the capacity of the people, local people, tribal people. Well, this was actually done by non-party association, and in that way a movement was brought in. Women, they also participated in the same, but after some time they also started talking about their own issues, कि हमारी अलग particular issues हैं women की, and you have to focus those issues as well, not just these issues, but those issues are equally important. You have to focus on those issues as well. Fine. So even what they did the same thing what was done by this PWG. They created a women wing of the same. Chhattisgarh Mahila Mukti Morcha. In the name of Chhattisgarh Mahila Mukti Morcha, a women wing was created, but they were not ready to compromise on patriarchal mindset, not at all. Similarly, on similar issues in Maharashtra, in Dhule, Maharashtra, DHULE, Dhule, Maharashtra, a women wing was created. On similar lines, women wing was created, and that is the Shramik Stri Mukti Sangathan. Shramik Stri Mukti Sangathan, that was created. Now coming to one environment movement. It's very famous, that is the Chipko movement. Chipko movement, that's very famous. That was brought in by Sundarlal Bahugura way back in 1973, and though it is known as environment movement, but what he focused was the livelihood of the people. because merchants from outside, they were going to the areas and they were cutting the trees. Those trees, plants, they were actually, the source of livelihood for the local people. So he raised such issues, and he convinced the people that if they kept on cutting the trees, your livelihood, they are actually going to deplete the source of your livelihood, and you're going to suffer a lot. So you'll have to restrict them. What is way out? He said that in a very peaceful manner, and that is like 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢, go and hug the trees. Go and hug the trees. Well, hugging the tree, how long can you hug the tree? Yes. तो पेड़ से ही चिपकना है. You have to hug the tree, not to something else. And that is something which is not so simple, so easy. Men could not do it. Yes. एम्पैथाइज करते, कुछ और सोचते उसके बारे में कि ये पेड़ नहीं कुछ और है तो शायद कर भी लेते, बट दे कुड नॉट डू इट. So finally, women, they successfully did the same thing. So Vandana Shiva, one environmentalist, what she said that is just because that women, they are very close to nature, and the two, they are actually, they have been exploited by men all the time. So their issues are common, and so they work together. That is the reason women, they could do it. But the problem is that, just see the mindset attached with the same thing, that women are having high level of tolerance. Why they could do it? They have high level of tolerance. How can you say so? Isn't it something which is a patriarchal mindset? Men, they say that, oh, come on. I mean, we can't do it. You can do it. You have high level of tolerance. तुम करो. तो अपने सहूलियत के लिए men ने उनको लगा दिया. This is patriarchal mindset. Even here also there is patriarchal mindset. Yes. And until there is patriarchal mindset, women, they remain sufferers, great sufferers of the same thing. Simply. Got it now? So that is where, like, we have to think, we have to see. But does it mean that all such movements, in all such movements, it is always like patriarchal mindset is working? No. One movement that is related to one famous case, Mathura case in Maharashtra, and that is actually the case related to a teenage girl who was taken to custody for some reason by the police, and in police custody she was raped by 2 policemen. This matter, in both, like in lower court as well as in even Supreme Court, the 2 policemen, they were acquitted on the ground of improper evidences. And another thing is that it is also said that she actually provoked them for the same act, and it was actually written in a Supreme Court judgment. This was something considered as a patriarchal, the biggest patriarchal mindset judgment, and women from across the country, first time when this was the event of 1978. When this matter went to Supreme Court, that time we were in 1980s, and first time it happened that women across the country, they came out of their houses, they were on the road, and they started putting slogans and against the patriarchal mindset. They kept on staging dharna and all those. So big movement kept on going. पहली बार ऐसा हुआ था. Yes, that women came against women issues. Women started a movement on women issues. First time it happened. And then after, there has been many more issues. In many cases, like Priyadarshini Mattu case, Jessica Lal case, Arushi Talwar case, Nirbhaya case, Disha, it was seen that in all these cases, the matter was either murder of women or rape of women. And in all, not only women but even men, they came forward and they actually protested such issues, just because that these issues are particularly related to women. They are not men related issues, they are women related issues, and in that way patriarchy was attacked. There has been a big blow to the same mindset. So it does not mean that all movements, they suffered on the same ground because of the patriarchal mindset. In some others, there has been attack on patriarchal mindset as well. So in that we have to show the balance. Let me give you one more example. Sudha Varghese. Sudha Varghese. A Keralite nurse, but highly educated. When she came to know about one particular group of people in Bihar, Musahar. Musahar. जीतन, that मांझी, ये जीतन राम मांझी नाम है ना, जो हम हिंदुस्तान आवाम मोर्चा जो बनाए थे. He belonged to the same Musahar. When she found that these people, they are the probably only in the whole country having no land rights, they are landless people. She was very much shocked, and she wanted to know in details about them, and she wanted to do something for these people. She went in that area, and then she found another thing, like women, when like men, they were working as workers, but women, they were actually, they were making local alcohol, local label alcohol from rice, barley, butter tree, mahua, इन सब से जो बनाते हैं. And they had some local customers, but those customers who visit to particular shop, after taking drink, they used to rape those women. वहीं पे उनको rape भी करते थे. This was something, very shocking for Sudha Varghese. She wanted to talk to them, but they had no idea like this something is called rape. उनको ये तक नहीं पता था. And it's not something like हम कोई पुराने 500 साल पहले की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. Hardly 20 years back. She created her NGO in the name of Nari Gunjan के नाम से, and she started fighting against this one. Initially, she was not getting support from those women, but later on she got the support, and she has been quite successful in empowering those women in a proper way, just because that she raised the women related issues properly, and she has been quite successful. वहाँ अच्छे स्कूल भी चल रहे हैं, स्पोर्ट्स स्कूल्स भी हैं बच्चों के लिए, women को काम मिला हुआ है काफ़ी by her own efforts, that things working properly. Yes. She got Padma Shri Award for the same. Even like Women of the Year in 2017, that award also she got. That is like another example on that you can quote. But still, in maximum movements, we won't find women-related issues in a proper way, and patriarchal mindset is definitely working. So, on the one hand, women education, on the other hand, women empowerment schemes are there, but no doubt that they are not sufficient, because none of these two things are actually taking away that mindset from the people, from the mindset. I mean, from the women, from men, all is not actually being erased. So what is required? We'll have to bring such campaigns, such movements to eliminate those things. So all together, kept on providing them education, modern education, kept on attaching them with empowermental schemes, but all together, what is required is a proper brainwash from this patriarchal mindset, and that is not possible without high level of movements and campaigns, because such movements and campaigns brought desirable results even in Western societies. We need that one. There is requirement of the support of men as well in the same. they should come forward. And yes, here there is a possibility for them to empathize certain things. Empathize means they have to think. If you are a father of someone, father of a daughter, you can think about your daughter's condition, like whatever is happening. If any malpractice, any problem that is being created, sexual harassment situation or eve teasing is there. So as a father, what do you feel like? And in that case, what would you do? So it is better to do the things right now. So all the people, they should come forward. They should take it in their stride, and all along with women, they should brainwash the mindset, the patriarchal mindset from the people, to make sure that now on, when modern education and empowermental issues, they are working, schemes they are working, they are going to work in a proper line, and we will bring gender equality properly. Yes, so that is where you have to focus on these two things. So on the one hand, whether it is related to the movements and women movement, feminist movement, was attached with the patriarchal mindset. That is one thing, the one that you have to discuss. And second, that what solution that could be provided. So that's why you have to discuss, and in that way you have to write your answer. So I hope it will help you to frame your answer. If you have written, you can check it. All the best to all of you. All future good wishes. Yes. God bless you all.